Both rear brake drums are in bad shape. They have cracks all over the surface. They also have about 1/8 inch deep groove. They also oversize. They measure 15 and 3/16 of inch. It shows on the outside of these drums the maximum diameter 15.120 inch or 15 and 1/8 or 384.05 millimeter. The measurement over here exceeds that, plus the 1/8 inch groove. I went to several auto stores. They don't have this part number. It shows in their system a drum for this truck, but none of them match this. I went to 3 Ford dealers and none of them has any parts for this truck. The last Ford dealer I went to, they sent me to a Ford dealer that sell equipment or parts for a truck like this. And I went there and the guy pulled a list based on the VIN number of the truck, and he was getting about 70 different items, and they all different. They all have different Ford part number, and they all obsolete. He can order them. We look through this list. It show him a diagram of the drums, and none of them match this. This over here is designed to have 15 inch by 5 inch shoes. It has 6 holes and 6 1/4 billet. And none of the part list match this. So I start looking online and I find several aftermarket places. They manufacture equivalent part to this one. This one over here is made by Dayton and the part number is 122-735-8. You need to ignore the -8. It doesn't bring anything. One website, when I entered this part number, it gave me a list of different manufacturers. They sell equivalent part. One of them was Web Brake, the other one was Dora Brake. They don't have it. I contacted several of them. Finally, at the Dora Brake, the guy told me he has one that matched this one exactly, but he only have one. He said he doesn't know when he's gonna have more. But he has 2 over here, the different part number. They have the same dimension over here, same billet hole, but they 1/2 inch taller. So I went ahead and ordered it. I have several ideas to fix these. One of them was cut it on the grinder, put it on the axle, assemble the axle, run the truck, and while this one is spinning, I could hold the grinder. I could build like a frame to hold the grinder, and I could cut this so it will fit. However, this may cause unbalance issue to these drums, the new drums. The other idea, which this is what I'm thinking about doing right now, the backing plate will fit both of them perfectly. And this gap over here is exactly the same. If I measure from the inside to the back of the backing plate, I have 6 3/8 of inch. And over here I have 6 7/8. So I need to extend this backing plate 1/2 inch, maybe 5/8, to give myself plenty of room. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the cylinders and cut this with the jigsaw all the way around. and then round a flat stock and offset this to the back 5/8 of inch, so everything will fit. I found a backing plate for the left and the right side because they're different. They're a little bit expensive. They cost about $120 a piece, but they designed for 7-inch brake shoes. So I will have about 1.5 inch gap over here, which probably it will be easier to fix. I could just round the flat stock to the outside, so rocks and dirt, water will not get inside and affect the performance of the brake. However, if I'm gonna spend the money to buy a new part and then I have to spend the time to fix it, it will make more sense to just cut these and fix them. And I have the equipment over here. I could fix these very easy. I'm going to remove the cylinders and then take more measurement. I'll probably even install this backing plate temporary, install the hub, take very accurate measurement, so when I cut these and build the offset, they will fit perfectly and I don't have to do additional work to that. From this surface to this, it's 8 inches. This is 7 3/4. So if I offset it 1/2 inch, it should be plenty. That gives me 1/4 inch clearance all the way around. I double check all my measurement between the drum and the backing plate, and where I originally thought to cut it, it's going to interfere with this if I want to cut it as perfect circle. I need to keep this opening. This where you inspect the clearance between the shoe and the drum, and this over here to adjust the distance between the shoe and the drum. So what I decided to do, I decided to cut it right here, right where the bend starts. So I took the grinder and I brought these 2 pieces of scrap metal and I took measurement and I drill it on both sides, and I use bolts the same thread as the handle that come with the grinder, and I space them out so I could tie them all the way and it will hold the grinder real good. And I made sure the cutting disc is parallel to this surface, so my cut will be straight and square. Then I welded this flat stock and I tie up the grinder so it doesn't move up and down. I also have in consideration, I want to miss these 2 adjusters. These would keep the shoe square. The shoe will actually rest on both of them, the top one and the bottom one. And this setup will miss him. I'm gonna go ahead, run the generator and cut both of them, and then I will weld the flat stock. And if everything's square, when I finish with it, this surface over here should be parallel to this surface. I also want to make sure when I weld them, I put them back how they oriented right now. To minimize confusion, I'm going to mark it. This under a lot of stress when they form it, so at the last part of it, it was biting on the grinder. You need to be careful if you're doing same thing. Make sure you take it easy with the grinder and hold it real good. The disc is still good, but I'm going to replace it because it bit 2-3 times. I don't want it to break, so I will replace it, put a new one, and then I will cut the second backing blade. I cut everything and it started raining. I'm going to use this old drum. I clean this surface and I will clamp everything to it when I weld all the parts to prevent it from bowing. This jig over here worked out great with the grinder. I'm going to use these as spacers when I clamp these to the old drum. I took this 1.5 inch by 1/2 inch flat stock and I slit it over here, and I will use it to form this flat stock when I weld it to this one. Start raining, I have to stop. I kept it clamped to the drum so it doesn't bow while I'm welding it. I welded both of them from the outside. I put about 3/4 inch tacks on both sides. It's very strong. And now I'm ready to weld it from the inside. I'm clamping it right now to the drum. It's flat, and I'm going to tack it from this side. I'm not going to weld it all the way. This will generate stress and it will bend. This part, it just needs to be strong enough to prevent debris from enter inside the drum. Even though the weather was miserable, I was able to alter this backing blade so I could use the new drum that I bought. It's different size, so I raised this 1/2 inch. I'm going to paint them, and once the paint is dry, I will install the cylinders. You will see these in use in the video related to the brake. However, right now they're great. They square, straight, parallel, and everything, and they will fit. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your support, and I'll see you later.